live direct from the A&R studios. It's the Empire of Nerd podcast. Here's your host, the PokéTrooper.
And welcome back to Empire of Nerd News. I am your host, the PokéTrooper, and with me, as always, is Dr. Snake.
What's up, you guys?
What's going on, Dr. Snake? So, we're all coming back from 4th of July. So, how did you spend your 4th?
Pretty much spend it at home, brah, with my little brah. And so every year we have a tradition that we get like a little G.I. Joe. Well, not G.I. Joe, but like a regular size, Barbie size G.I. Joe. Uh-huh. And we just blow them the fuck up. Well, just small fireworks that you buy at the stands. Yeah. But, smoke bombs and blasters, whatever they're called, and little, like, purple rain, and just have them, dude. He caught on fire twice.
Oh, shit.
So we had to light him up with some water. My brother was laughing his shit off, and, good times.
Yeah. We're all right there, Sid. But, yeah.
That was a huge influence on my childhood.
I saw your Instagram stories. They're pretty funny. I just hear your brother, oh shit.
Like, oh shit, can I grab him? Like, why would you grab him if the firework is on, man? But I guess it's one of those things that you just want to see how it feels, I guess. You'll burn yourself, man.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, how about you?
Yeah. Oh, fuck, dude.
How was the 4th?
Jeez, dude. Honestly, like, I started day drinking like at maybe 11, maybe 10:30. And it's all day just cooking ribs, dude. Just up on the grill. Just
Not bad.
So, it wasn't too bad, And then everybody came over and then probably when everybody started like settling down for the fireworks around 6, I was asleep already. So I missed the fireworks shows. I was out.
Dude, pretty much, day drinking, yeah. It actually gets you a big haul. Like, even if you go on Sundays, like, for brunch, forget about it.
Yeah, dude.
Forget about it.
I was just drinking, I had like a 12-pack of Guinness on my own.
Híjole.
So it was all just stout, extra stout, just heavy, dude. And so I was out. I was donezo by like 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we celebrated the 4th, so we hope everybody, had a nice, safe holiday.
Yeah, buddy.
No one's missing fingers. Just an FYI, if you hear anything in the background, we apologize because we have the window open because it's fucking hot. Mm-hmm. It's fucking hot in SoCal right now. Mm-hmm. But, so other than that, let's start getting to some stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
Today's episode, we don't actually really have a topic we're going to talk about, so we're just going to go through some news and kind of talk about a little bit of everything. And we got a lot of nice announcements about movies and shows coming out, so we're going to talk a little bit about that and kind of theorize what we think is going to be about.
Oh, yeah.
But first, before we get into all that, I actually want to go back and do a give it a shot. So, you have Hulu, right? Hulu and all
Sure
that?
do, yeah. Hulu, Disney, and some other stuff.
Have you heard of this show called Crossing Swords?
No, but that sounds like a pretty decent porno.
It depends on what you're into. But it's actually a pretty funny show. It's the same guys that did Robot Chicken.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
It's a lot of the same stop action motion stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's really funny because all the characters look like you remember those toys like the Little People or
yes.
like Play School?
Yep.
They just look like that. They look like they're all made of wood. They have these big old heads, like no arms or legs, but like they can still carry stuff and all that. And it's really funny because like it's kind of like so the characters, I think his name is Patrick. I only seen about a couple episodes. His name is Patrick, and he wants to grow up to be a knight. And so he's got this idea of what knights are supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And all his siblings are assholes. One is he's like a Robin Hood kind of character. His sister's a pirate. And his other brother's like a weird clown shit. Mm-hmm. And so like he's like, oh, I want to be the knight. Like I want to be the noble guy. This and that, blah blah. But then he grows up to go into like the knight, like the competitions to be the king's squire. Mm-hmm. And it's just like he just notices like all the corruption, all the fucked up shit. Oh, it's really funny. And so like one of the competitions is to like the interview with the queen, and she's just banging all the dudes.
What?
Yeah, and she's just like banging all the dudes. And she's like, "Have you ever fucked on a chandelier before?" And it's really funny. It's like because they look like little kids' toys, dude, and they're talking real nasty. But it's really funny, dude. And he's just like, oh, and he comes up with like this crazy story that like each time she's like, "You're getting even hotter, And he's like, I'm pregnant. I'm actually a female, but now I'm a male, and this and that, and I have gonorrhea, and this, and just like all these stories,
What?
trying to get the queen off his back. He goes, I don't want to do this. She goes, oh, well, if it's not consensual, I don't want to do it. Then go remarry away. And
That's kind of funny. That almost sounds like a Big Mouth.
it's a little bit like that.
Because that one caught me like I mean out of left field. I was like, what the hell? This is actually hilarious.
Yeah, it's actually really
Oh,
funny.
okay.
So it's just kind of him, like on his journey of being a knight for the king and getting all these crazy missions and shit and just random shit, dude. And his buddy's name is Broth. He goes, yeah, because soup's cool and everybody says that. And
Oh
it's just
my
like
God.
nobody says that, dude. Like he has all these really dumb jokes and he's just like this super Chad
Broth.
dude, like super dude bro. But it's really fucking funny. So if you have a chance, if you have Hulu, check out Crossing Swords. It's actually really, really funny. Like I said, it's all the guys from Robot Chicken, and then like Seth Green's on there and all those guys. So
That's tight.
it's really good and all the same voice actors. So it's pretty fun.
Nice.
But so yeah, moving on from that, let's just get into some of the news and let's get the sad stuff out of the way first. So for any music fans, specifically country music fans, we did lose Charlie Daniels just the other day. He passed away at 83 and 83 years old. And so
Whew.
people, he's had this long career, but people obviously know him more for the song Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he just passed away. I guess he had a stroke like maybe a month or two ago, and so they had to put a pacemaker and just I guess just from complications and all that, he just kind of went after that. So
Yeah, man.
so we lost Charlie Daniels, and then dude, yesterday, Monday, we lost the great, legendary Ennio Morricone, dude.
Damn.
And I mean, if you don't know who this is, like you need to go do your like music composition homework, because because it's kind of like, for me, on one hand you have John Williams,
Yeah.
and on the other hand you have Ennio Morricone, and his career is so massive. He has scored actually 500 movies,
Gee.
and obviously the biggest ones were all like the old spaghetti westerns back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Freaking Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, The Good and the Bad and the Ugly being one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
He was doing all those movies for Sergio Leone. Like I said, like 500 movies, and he actually just recently won an Oscar for the music for The Hateful Eight. So this guy has just had a long, illustrious career, and unfortunately we lost him. He was 91 years old.
91 though,
91
bro.
though. 91. He was still composing music. He was still still scoring movies. Like I said, Hateful Eight came out like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
only?
yeah. I mean, like 4 or 5 years ago.
So
maybe.
he was like 80 something. Like, so
Yeah.
he was still really, really, really like active in his career. So
Yep.
so unfortunately we lost him as well. So R.I.P. Charlie Daniels and R.I.P. Mr. Ennio Morricone.
I am drinking one for you guys right now.
Here, some Guinness.
Cheers. Let's do that.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Man.
So if Guinness, if you want to, give us money, we will happily take it from you guys.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. So let's get into like some more of like the more fun topics. But dude, you a fan of Tiger King?
Yeah. I actually watched the whole series because I had to.
Yeah, everybody kind of got stuck on that. It just kind of happened to land at the right time. I guess,
and
but,
I was like, fuck it.
but dude, goddamn Carol Baskins.
Yeah.
You know what they're gonna do? They're actually gonna give it they're gonna give Tiger King its own spin-off show. And it's kind of like, how the hell do you spin off a fucking Tiger King documentary, But they're actually going to make a documentary investigating the disappearance of Carol Baskin's husband.
I want to find out. I want to like how Tiger King says she fell into the tigers, So, dude, that's okay. No, because if he supposedly did a will of saying that he's gonna give her everything, even if it's a disappearance, who puts that on the will?
That's shady as fuck.
Okay, exactly. So yeah, dude, that chick, evil.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy, dude. I have a feeling they're gonna do it much like in the style of what is it? Making a Murder. There you go.
Oh, Making a Murder. Yeah.
So Netflix had that whole documentary Making a Murder, and I feel like they're gonna do it just like that. They're gonna kind of give one side of the story and kind of paint it that way to make it sound, and maybe omit a couple facts here and there just for the story.
Because if you think about it, when I was watching the Tiger King, I even thought about that too. I'm like, they're both. I mean, all three of them, all the three keepers wanted to make a documentary off of their like their famous, you know, like lions and tigers and cats. Did she ever think that if she reopens or if she retells how she has that zoo, and not open a case of the missing husband?
Yeah, dude.
That's pretty. I don't know if she actually thought that through.
I think
she just didn't give a fuck.
I think if she would have been in charge of like what was going on with all that, it would have been kind of like, okay, here's a little bit of the facts and just kind of brush away the rest. Like, you don't need to know what was in the will, this and that. But I think because it was about, the Tiger King, he was just like, oh, well, you know what? Like, we found the will.
I
and
see
this
what
and
you
that,
mean.
blah,
I see
blah.
what you mean.
So I think if it was just like her and her vision of the documentary, none of that would have been brought up. But
Yeah, no.
But dude.
Yeah, but
so-
dude, like they have to find them.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. You do like true crime is such a weird, crazy investigation that even like with the smallest molecules on the carpet, I mean, it'll be like a toenail from fucking 2 years. They'll find you, bro.
Yeah.
They'll find
But
you.
I mean, okay, so let's say allegedly she did do it.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
She allegedly fed her husband to the tigers.
Okay.
Like, dude, there can't be anything left. Like, when you see a tiger eat like a gazelle or a giraffe or whatever the hell, like, their tongues strip the bones of meat, dude. Like, it just like strips it clean. And it's like after that, bones are only around for so long before it's like it's dust.
It's the dust and vaporize. And
So it's just like, dude, like, how much really can you?
Oh man, I'll be really surprised if they find like a thumb, like just chilling somewhere, and like if they dig up, I don't know.
Like, Bill was here, like a fucking graffiti somewhere.
Yeah, man.
Dude, that'd be crazy, man. But yeah, so we got that to look forward to. They haven't really announced any other details other than that they're going to start it. But yeah, dude. I mean, if you're a fan of Tiger King, it's like obviously tune in.
Yep.
So that's gonna be coming from Netflix.
Cool.
And then let's start getting to some of the bigger news, dude. Freaking so Comedy Central. I mean, they've had this like habit of like kind of picking up random TV shows and putting them back on air, like Futurama. Like, Futurama was kind of off and on with Fox for a while, and then they got the movies, but then they were off the air. And then Comedy Central picked them up, and I think now they finally finished, or it's canceled again. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Comedy Central is actually picking up Beavis and Butthead.
I'm excited.
From Mike Judge.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be good, dude.
Same. Actually, are the voice actors?
Oh yeah,
still
well, it's
around?
Mike Judge.
Oh, okay. So they're
I mean,
still around.
it's Mike Judge, the guy that does Bill Dauterive. He's a voice on there. Pretty much like all the people from like King of the Hill, a lot of them were on Beavis and Butthead.
Okay.
So I mean, that's kind of where he started everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like it's gonna be weird. 'Cause I mean, you can't really like age Beavis and Butthead. You can't make them adults because it's like, I feel like it won't work. But then it's like they were such a subject of a product of their time. Like, how can you put Beavis and Butthead into like Gen Z?
I see what you mean.
Zoomer era. Because that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna be based in the 90s. It's gonna be based now.
Yeah, I think the two TV shows that I've seen. Well, one, I guess one's technically a movie. The Simpsons, obviously, right now, if you still watch them, they're more current. They're more like they brag about Apple, and they brag about the certain events. And the one that they released on Netflix was Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh yeah.
And then so if you've seen it, obviously it's based on the future, and then Rocco wants to bring back his old TV show, the
Fatheads.
The Fatheads. And then but everything's like he's like, what? He's like, this is not how I left, and they were stuck in space.
Yeah.
So I would think that maybe Beavis and Butthead are so old times and going to concerts. Maybe like either they get crazy how there's so many concerts, or either they get crazy because their favorite band members are dead, or either separated, and they're not doing shows no more. I don't know. So it could be a nice little, and then even like how they work, like instead of the burger shop, it's probably like at a Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, it could work, but. Hopefully they just don't keep
it's
it
just a little weird because I mean, okay, so you brought up Rocco. Now the thing with Rocco was that it's very like like super fantasy, dude. Like obviously it's not realistic in any way.
No, it's not.
You know, they're all fucking animals. So, you know, they've been in space for what, 30 years and they come back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little different with that because, you know, Mike Judge has like his cartoons are very much based in reality. Like you think Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, like it's all kind of like very real life, very realistic art, like even just like comedy style and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's kind of hard to like do you go the route of like making Beavis and Butthead older, and then in that case putting them like in their 40s maybe, or do you kind of like just kind of move them up the timeline, you know, so that they're still young, but it's like how do you get them to be able to like reference things from like the 90s while they're still supposedly like, you know, these young kids in the 2000s era?
Maybe. Wow, that's a good one. I would say they probably will maybe up a scale it maybe like 5 years just to make it seem that they're still young but they're still rock and roll. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
And I feel like the only thing that I'm concerned about is the comedy and the humor, because I feel like two TV shows that I can't see coming back is I think Ren and Stimpy, because obviously they had like a lot of a lot of stereotypes.
Yeah.
And even I feel like even King of the Hill, like a little like like a Boomhauer and
like con supernusaphone.
yeah, and then like Connie, and I feel like that will be too much right now of what's happening. So I feel like there's some shows that could come back, but I feel like the humor was always based back in the day. You know?
Yeah, but see that's the funny thing too. Even between Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill, I feel King of the Hill could still make a comeback because they still dealt with like a lot of serious subjects, dude.
Yeah.
Like it was still like adult focused cartoon, but it was still like enough like lessons and shit in there that if a younger person were to watch, like it would make sense. Like the whole point of like they had a bunch of things like race when they thought Hank was racist because the dog attacked the black repairman.
Yeah.
Or like the subject of cheating because of like Dale's wife.
That's right.
Was with John Redcorn and what was the son's name?
The
Joseph.
Indian son, right?
Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph was obviously not Dale's son, but Dale was raising him like he was.
Yep.
And then you had freaking Bill always always in love with Peggy, and I mean, dude, there was just like all these like super heavy subjects. So even between those two, like the humor is very different.
Yeah.
And I feel like the humor with Beavis and Butthead was always more geared towards like more younger, like maybe like young adult, like college years. But it's gonna be cool, dude. So
I think it's gonna be good.
So like I said, they're gonna try to focus it on like Beavis and Butthead being in like modern era, like Gen Z and the Zoomers and all that. But it's like you're missing the point of like the music videos. Like that was a huge part of the show.
Oh,
too.
that's right. Yeah. So it was, and honestly, like so when I watched the music videos, I almost had not a fast forward it, but I just didn't care because I was just too young. Like I was just like I wanted to see more of the cartoon. But I remember that. But now I think if I would watch it, my age then, I definitely would appreciate it because because they like back talk about the
it was a lot of commentary.
Yeah, and then and then they will like either like rock out or they find like some song like just like really like fucking hardcore and they like headbang and shit.
Yeah, dude.
That was pretty cool actually. Yeah, I actually forgot that they actually did that.
So it's like, dude, how do you find that medium? Like, what are you gonna do now? You can't really. I guess you can do meme videos, like maybe have them sitting in front of the computer watching memes,
or trying to do a meme, or trying to do like a TikTok.
Yeah, dude. So but then
That's
it's kind of like
hilarious.
once you start doing that, it's kind of like just making a cartoon version of what was it, Ridiculousness with Rob Dyrdek?
Oh yeah.
So after a while, it's just kind of like you're just gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
But I mean, who knows? Let's hope for the best, because I mean,
Yeah.
I hope it pans out. I mean, I miss Beavis and Butthead. I used to have the DVDs somewhere.
Yeah, like the best episode I think is like the nosebleed one.
Oh jeez, yeah.
with the pad.
My favorite is still the episode where they do like the dating videos.
Oh yeah.
And then like the girls come by looking for them, but like the other one answers the phone or the door, and they're like, "Oh, I'm looking for the love machine."
Oh yeah.
He goes, "Oh, yeah, the TV's okay, so thanks. Go away," and slams the door in her face. Like, dude, those are the best. And then obviously the video game on Sega.
Oh, dude, the whole fucking thing was because they're going to a concert and the neighbor shredded it in his lawnmower.
Yeah, with
and
tickets.
So, yeah, and then so throughout the game you're trying to find each pieces of the ticket to go to the concert.
Yeah.
That's bad, dude. Like
Dude.
that was such a cool concept.
That was a cool ass game.
Yeah.
If you never played that,
It
you
was
better find a ROM.
Hard ass fuck.
Yeah, you better find a ROM and go fucking play that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was badass.
Dude, that was dope, dude. Super dope.
The part that always pissed me off was when you go. I think it was into like the science teacher's room, and he's throwing like the bombs at you, and the ticket's just sitting like just on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, really?
Dude, if you guys have a Game Genie, fucking hook up the codes on that shit because,
Yeah.
dude, that shit is ridiculous.
That was honestly one of my favorite games on Sega. Straight up. So, anyways, moving on to the next one, and let's kind of stick with the theme of animation and all that.
Okay.
Dude, they're rebooting Ninja Turtles again, man.
I'm down.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. I mean, I'm always down for Ninja Turtles. I wasn't a fan of the Michael Bay movies, just kind of meh.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, dude. I mean, they're rebooting them again, and we're actually gonna get like one of the most random people producing too, Seth Rogen. Like,
Dude, if he does like a super bad, or if he
That'd
does
be
something
cool,
like
man.
that, or like a Pineapple Express Turtles.
what was that fucking cartoon he did? With the food. Sausage Party.
Sausage Party.
Can you imagine, dude? Like Ninja Turtles with Sausage Party style. It's like a freaking April.
Dude, and
O'Neil
Sausage Party
gangbang.
was such a simple concept of like foods in the supermarket, fucking
Yeah.
just getting like super horny. And
I
shit.
mean, low key, it was pretty dumb, but it had its moments.
It did.
Like my favorite part was like when they do like the Saving Private Ryan part, when like the flour explodes and everybody's like, oh, all fucked up, and like that fucking Twinkie was like cut in half. He's like looking for his other half. So I mean, that shit was funny. But I mean, yeah. So Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, dude, they're gonna produce this new Ninja Turtle reboot for Nickelodeon.
I hope it's good because Seth Rogen seems like if he loves something, I feel like if I was like a producer, if I had money, I know that I would want to see my own likings, but I know that everybody not might like it, of course.
Yeah.
But I feel like Seth Rogen has like in a good page in a good place, and of course everything else seems like if they're leaning to cartoons more because that's
Yeah.
all we can do.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty stoked. I want to see this.
Yeah, so, I mean, cause I think Michael Bay has another Ninja Turtles coming out still. I think.
I want to say so. He might.
I want to
have
say he has a
one.
third one, and they're supposed to be doing another reboot. It's like
Yeah.
another movie, but like someone else. And then so Seth Rogen's gonna get this reboot. So it's gonna be on Nickelodeon. It's gonna be all animation. They're gonna do this new series, plus I think a couple spin-offs, like a couple like movie specials.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have the show. They have a couple movie specials, and it's actually all gonna be directed by Jeff Rowe, who actually did Gravity Falls.
Oh,
Which is actually a really good cartoon if you haven't watched it yet. Like it's just like it's definitely a kids cartoon, but it's got like a nice like funny humor in there for adults.
Yeah.
Like obviously nothing too bad, but like it's got its humor in there. And like surprisingly, dude, for a kids cartoon, like the writing was so well done, and like it spans like the whole 3 seasons.
Yeah, and then even like it almost falls like Adventure Time and some other ones. Though.
Yeah.
But like Gravity Falls was, I mean, I personally never seen it. I've seen like the Funko Pop of it. I'm like, damn, it's cool. Even the cartoons are like really well designed and made. Yeah, it's dope.
Dude, it's really good. I mean, and dude, I know you're a fan of what's her face from Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, my God.
She plays Mel.
Yeah, she plays Mel from Bob's Burgers. Yes, dude, I'm a huge fan, and she's a dinosaur from. She's like the Triceratops.
Yeah,
From
so
Toy Story.
she's actually in there too.
Yeah.
She plays the sister Mabel. Oh my God, what's her name? It's gonna kill me now.
Me
'Cause
too.
I love her character, dude. Especially in Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, which I did meet her actually. It was at a con, and it was like a raffle, and it was for the Bob's Burger signing. And I got a raffle, and I got the ticket, and I fucking met her, and then that was my question to her. And I was like, "Hey, bring back Jermaine and Brett," and she starts laughing, and I was like, "I love Flight of the Conchords, dude. Like if I would revamp that memory, I would totally try to take a picture of her."
That's cool. Her name's Kristen Shaw.
There you go.
That's it.
Jeez.
So she's in Flight of the Conchords. She plays Mel, like the crazy stalker of the 2-man band. She's the Triceratops in the new Toy Story shorts in the movie.
Yeah.
She plays what's her name in Bob's Burger?
You just said it.
No, but the character's name in Bob's Burger.
Luis.
Louise.
Right?
She plays Louise. and then she's also Mabel in Flood of the no, I'm mixing up shows. She's also Mabel in Gravity Falls.
Yep.
So I mean, like, dude, like, it's a really great show. So like I think with like Seth Rogen, between him and Jeff Rowe, it's gonna be a really good show. You know, again, they haven't really given off too many details. We're for sure getting at least one season, and I think 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 like specials, probably like a Christmas special, a Halloween special, you know, something like that. And it's going to be animated. So, but they haven't announced yet if it's going to be like traditional hand drawn or if it's going to be like a CGI or what. So we're still waiting for details for that, but that should be landing, I think, sometime next year, like early next year, so spring.
Tight. So actually, going back, so might give it a shot. Could be Flower Concords. So if you guys
definitely
haven't watched that one, it was an HBO. Me and this guy and even Beef Supreme. That's pretty much our show that we like straight up like connected to, and we all like hilarious laughed. It's about 2 guys in from Australia, right?
New Zealand.
I'm sorry. Wow. Woo. Sorry,
Dude,
because I went this.
You would offend them.
I would offend them completely. They live in New York, or like in Brooklyn, you know, whatever. And then they're just like their own going with their own lives. But they're both musicians, and they like do it's like a musical, but they do like their own songs. But it's hilarious, and they just
funny.
and they sing on what's going on or what's happening to them. But yeah, it was just 2 seasons. It was just hilarious, just like seeing their lives around the city. And dude, it's just I actually saw him live twice.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Dude, they have a couple like stand-up specials that are really good. They had one when they first started, and then they just came out with one live in London. Man, dude, I cannot recommend that one like enough. It's hilarious. It's like, you know, even though they're like this 2-man band, they're like, you know, oh yeah, we're like the 3rd best country parody folk music band from New Zealand. And then they're like, yeah, and so now we're going to invite the New Zealand orchestra to join us on the stage. It's like one dude on the cello. And it's like, that's the whole orchestra.
Yeah.
That's the fucking funniest thing ever. And dude, this the music. Like the one that always cracks me up is it's called like Summer of like 1453. And it's like this fucking like this little night boy that's trying to like seduce the woman. And he's like, it's time to woo this lady. And I go, woo, 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 lady, I am wooing you. And it's like so dumb, dude. It's dumb humor, but it's the funniest freaking thing, dude. Like, I can't recommend Flight of the Conchords live in London enough, dude. But yes, you know, Dr. Snake is correct. You have to watch that show.
That was my give it a shot for this week.
Really, really funny show.
Definitely.
But yeah, dude. So getting back on topic, dude. So what do you think? What do you think that they're gonna do with this new turtle show, dude? Like, what do you think?
I think it's good because thing is I've seen turtles get revamped in cartoons about 3 times that I almost religiously watched. Maybe not this last one that is kind of recent. They're kind of like, it's more like blocky and they all have goggles, almost like the Michael Bay one.
Yeah.
And they always kind of almost not really knock out of the park, but it's good. Even like the Nickelodeon one, actually. That one was hilarious.
That one was great.
That one was really good. So if Seth Rogen could pull it off, almost like how that is, it's almost to the think that you can't fuck up the turtles. I personally haven't seen it that bad since Michael Bay.
Yeah.
That was a movie.
About to say. I mean,
yeah, that one really got fucked up.
Michael Bay, and you kind of have Ninja Turtles 3.
Yeah. So, you know, but from the cartoon series and having a series like that of the Turtles, there's so much content to cover. And then like even from the beginning of our first episodes, that's the number 2 thing that I always say. Toys of the Turtles, forget it, man.
Yeah,
there's so much shit. That and maybe second place goes to Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But going from that, contact from the Turtles, contact from the characters' uses, contact from everything else, dude, they could bring back so much that I hope Seth does his homework, grew up with that shit, loves how he sees them, and I love it too. Dude, I have a fucking tattoo of Michelangelo thinking about a pizza on my calf.
Dude, it's fine. It just popped in my head right now. So last week I was at work, right? And so for those that don't know, I actually drive doing deliveries. You know, I deliver to different like auto body shops and mechanic shops and things like that. And dude, I go into this one shop and I'm looking for I'm looking for the owner. I'm like, hey, delivery, got your crap, whatever. And he has two garage bays and the one is closed. I walk around the garage and I look over and I'm all like, is that the motherfucking Ninja Turtle van? And sure enough, dude, he had the fucking turtle van in his garage.
That's funny.
He goes, oh yeah, dude, I'm pulling out the engine. I'm going to put a new one, this and that, blah, blah. And I guess, yeah, he drives it around going to cons and shit, dude.
That's pretty
And so
cool.
I guess he was supposed to do it this year, but like, with everything going on, he was like, yeah. So I'm taking the time to fix it up. I was like, dude, what the fuck? So it used to be like an old school like VW bus. So that's the first cool thing. Mm-hmm. And then he actually fiberglassed the shell on top and then gave the whole paint job. So it's all brown with the green. It says "Foot Stinks" on the side.
That's
oh, like fuck, that's the greatest fucking thing ever.
And it's super dope because there's certain movies and cartoons that even the cars are more popular.
Oh yeah, dude.
You have fucking Back to the Future. You have the Batmobile from fucking Michael Keaton. You have the Ghostbusters car.
Yep.
You got that car. You got even fucking Scooby Doo, the fucking mystery wagon.
Machine, yeah.
Or the fucking mystery machine. And I love how they're just so iconic. Yeah. They're just so, if you see them, I don't care what age and what race and what everything, dude, you see them from the corner of your eye and you know right off the bat.
You instantly nerd out.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's great. So
that's fucking awesome.
So I hope they bring the van back. That's pretty badass.
Oh yeah.
Like that's necessary. I hope that it's kind of loosely based on like 90s era Ninja Turtles.
I would want, if he's going to bring it back, hopefully he will.
So that's the funny thing. I was thinking about it right now. So it's going to be on Nickelodeon again. So the last Nickelodeon Turtles, when you kind of think about it, they were kind of like early teens, maybe 13, 14, you know, where they're like kind of getting their training going. That'd be really cool to put if Seth Rogen came along and did like maybe like 16, 17 Turtles. Like a little bit older, not quite like mature yet. So it's still going to be a bunch of like fart and pizza jokes and things like that. But like a little bit older, a little bit, maybe towing that line of like, maybe this comedy isn't for kids, but not quite like going past where it's like, okay, we got to take this shit down. Like, I think that'd be really cool. Then, yeah, they'll be older, so give them the van, then cruise around the van, fighting fucking Shredder and the Foot.
Yeah. Because I feel like maybe the only age bracket that I saw that it was a little higher when it was Batman versus the TMT.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen the movie? Yeah. So I feel like maybe right there they were like maybe at that age because they loved how Batman was and they traveled to Gotham City.
Yeah.
To figure out what's happening because Shredder and Ra's al Ghul were they were teaming up, and then so they both ended up there and then Batman finding it. And so I feel like they were in the same age bracket, and even Robin too. I think they were in like the same age. So I think that was the only one that I saw that they were a little older than Nickelodeon.
Yeah, but it worked good because it was like they were old enough to be like battle hardened.
Yeah.
But still young enough to be like, oh my god, it's Batman, this and that. They're still really, really like surprised and like happy to see him. And dude, that was just a badass fight between Shredder and Batman.
Bro.
Badass.
Dude.
If you haven't watched that, please go watch that. That
Even
is
another one.
So good. So good. But yeah, dude. And I mean, I think it'd be cool to kind of base on like the original Turtle series. Like that'd be cool. Like it was like that really like weird like 80s, 90s era where it was like some stuff you think like neon colors are cool, but
bring me back April O'Neil with the yellow jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Bring me back Casey Jones and fucking he looks like a bum / hockey player.
Yeah.
That's super 90s, man. Bring it back to me.
Bring all that shit back, man.
Bring it back.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I really want to see from this. Kind of maybe somewhere between like that Turtles, maybe some like the original like black and white Turtles where they're all like really like broody. That'd be cool.
Like they all look the same.
Yeah. Like that one. But like, you know what? Like, yeah, with just that touch of like Nickelodeon era Turtles, because that series worked so well too, because like yeah, they were younger. It was definitely aimed at like a younger crowd. Yeah. But it was still like just enough to keep everybody entertained.
Yeah.
So dude, it was real funny jokes, really clever writing. So I hope they bring back that era as well. So maybe some kind of weird conglomeration of those three, because they did do an episode where they like had all the turtles show up.
Yep.
So like those turtles, 90s, 80s turtles, and then the original black and white turtles.
Dude, even the turtles showed up on Power Rangers, bro.
Yeah, that was
live
pretty
action.
cool. That was pretty
They
cool.
showed up and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And that's when they had like the girl turtle, no?
Yeah, see, that was kind of a weird era of turtles too.
It was.
It was weird. Like
They
that,
were trying
like
to
that,
figure out
like
what was
that
good
Fox
for it.
TV, and then they had like
Oh
that
my
weird
God.
girl turtle who wasn't really a turtle.
Yeah.
She was like an alien.
I love Fox because I mean that's where I grew up watching fucking was it Animaniacs was on
Oh
there?
yeah,
Right? No.
Animaniacs was WB.
Oh damn.
No, but
Pokemon
Fox.
was IOB.
Yeah,
Fox
Fox
was
Fox
what?
would have been Bobby's World. Eek.
Oh, Eat the Cat.
Would have been. No, not Rugrats.
How about the PJs?
I think that was UPN.
Damn it. Okay.
Oh, jeez. See, like if I can picture the lineup.
I know, but you can't really like.
I can remember all the WB. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you had Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. You had
Never
Samurai
mind.
Pizza
WB,
Cats.
you're the shit.
Actually, no.
You were the shit.
Actually, no. Samurai Pizza Cats were on UPN as well. But in the mornings,
See,
they had a bunch of random animes in the morning, and then one of them was Samurai
I
Pizza
kind
Cats.
of wish I had a VHS. Well, I mean, I'm sure I did have one, and just recorded some episodes and just kept it and just like rewatch the commercials and
Yeah, oh,
rewatch.
dude, yeah.
You know, like that's kind of
dude,
cool. I wish I should have
legit.
done that.
I like going back on YouTube and watching like old commercials because you're just
Yeah.
like, fuck, really? Like one of the ones that was funny was like the old Gundam commercials when they first started bringing like the model kids to the U.S. and it was kind of like all these like cool kids. Like they all have like shades and spiky hair and like chains and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all comparing like how long it took them to build like the different Gunplas.
Yeah.
One kid's all like 2 weeks, and the other one was like 4 days, and then like the
Yeah.
one like top of the top kid, he's all
Yeah.
super cool, sagging
Yeah.
pants, like a wife beater, living in a trailer. He's all like 45 minutes, and it was like, and then like the fucking toys like came to life and blew up the trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, dude, I'm not kidding. This is how the actual commercial
Yeah,
went.
dude. The only two
Random.
commercials I remember is a Pizza Bagel Bites. So you know, like the pizza and the bagel.
Oh, my
so I know
God.
that one and the fucking board game, the Crossfire one.
Oh,
Cross-
you get caught up in the crossfire.
See,
Jeez,
dude.
dude.
Yeah. So it was the little. It looked like Hunger Hippos, honestly, and
It was just two.
It was just two guns that was like fucking shoot out like those like
Little
silver
BBs.
beads, and then you really had to shoot either against or for the little cross. It was like a little.
So I think one was like a little 4-sided star, and the other one was like a little 8-sided star.
Yeah.
And you had to shoot one into like the other person's goal or something.
yeah, yeah.
Weird,
So it was like
dude.
soccer plus fucking Hunger Hippos.
It was
you know?
weird, but it was fun.
Those are only the two commercials I really remember.
Oh man, old commercials that I remember. Jeez.
Yeah.
Like I said, I remember the Gundam, and I remember the Power Ranger toys when they came out, the commercials.
Man.
And so the kids were playing with them, and they had like the little mountain, like fucking like background,
Yeah.
and they're all floating them down. And then like
Yeah.
the kid has the fuck. I just remember always laughing because he had the Megazord toy, and he's got each leg, and he's making it walk. And then the fucking wall explodes, and his face is all black, his hair's all blown away, and he's all looking through the hole in the wall because the fucking toys went out the window or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Dude, I always crack up with that fucking commercial.
Yeah, fuck, man. Also, man, two toys that I never fucking. I'm sure I said this before. I never hated somebody as much as someone had the Jurassic Park fucking. You know, they had the entrance and had like the little garden with the T-Rex.
Oh yeah.
I fucking hated that kid. Also, the other one never got was when Power Rangers went into, I think, the Red Ranger got a Dragon Zord. Remember that? It looked like the Chinese dragon.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was like when they went to like ninjas.
Yeah, ninjas. I wanted that fucking Megazord.
Dude, that thing was
Fuck.
cool. This kid at my church had it, and he was a dick. He wouldn't let me play with it.
I feel like kids that had it were just fucking
Oh yeah.
dicks.
So I think I broke the leg and I fucking dipped. I was like, no, later.
Anyways.
But anyway, so yeah, so looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It'll be good, man. It'll be good.
yeah, and so I guess kind of stay in the same realm. Dude, so Westworld's Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. So they're the showrunners for Westworld, which if you've been watching this latest season, it's okay.
Really?
It's okay. I liked the first season best. Second season was good because we saw more of like the different parks. And then even like in this season, we get a little glimpse of like the World War II park. Like it was really cool. But like a lot of it has to take place like off the actual island. and more like in the real world. Ooh, they're barking dogs. But 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 yeah, no. But like this last season was it was okay. I think maybe
Did it end?
no.
Oh, I mean, this last season, like
You know what? I haven't seen the end of the season.
Okay.
It might be over. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, I feel like their main part of the show was like definitely on the park.
Okay.
Like that's where they should have kept everything, and maybe once the first season ended, what would have been cool, what would have been maybe take like a season or two to show different people's like experiences trying to survive the different parks.
I see.
Because I mean, you have so many. Like I said, they showed, obviously Westworld. They had, I think it was called Shogun World, which was like the samurais. Which is, if you see season 2, that is like fucking probably the baddest part of like the whole season, because they all go into Shogun World, and they actually run into like their Japanese equivalents. So like they have like the one badass gunslinger, like he has like his samurai counterpart, and then like the madam from the brothel, she has her counterpart, and do all this. So it's really really cool. It's really really interesting to watch, and they're like they see themselves living this life through like a different culture. And then you have like the one park that was cool, but they didn't really show too much. It was called the Raj, and it was kind of like British colonial era like India. So it was more for like people would go there to like do the hunts, like the tiger hunts and all that. But it was cool because then you see like the animals freaking out and them eating the people and shit. So that was cool too. But I mean, you had like so much more like to work with. So like I said, they showed, I think that was all they showed. So they showed those 3 parks, and they showed this season they showed the World War II park. So that's still only 4 parks, and I think technically there's 6.
Damn.
Yeah, so you can always do like like in the original movie they had a medieval world.
Yeah.
So you can always do medieval world, and people have actually drawn the comparison, or not the comparison, but this theory that Game of Thrones was actually one of the worlds from Westworld.
What?
Yeah, so it's really cool. So that's one of the theories, and actually it's funny because when you watch especially I think it was starting the 2nd season. Drogon from Game of Thrones is actually in the background of one of the
Shut
yeah.
up.
So when you see in the background, there's like this big ass dragon, and it's like the model of Drogon. And then I think the 2 guys that were working on it were actually DB Weiss and Benioff, the 2 showrunners from Game of Thrones. They were like the guys that were working, like the lab technicians. And they're like, oh yeah, we're just getting it up to whatever, up to code or whatever the hell. So there's a whole theory, there's a whole fan theory that Game of Thrones is actually a world within Game of Thrones.
What the fuck? That's tight.
Yeah. So anyways, I mean, that's all other side stuff. But anyways, yeah. So Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, they're actually announced that they're gonna start working on a Fallout TV show.
That's pretty cool.
So it's gonna be badass. It's actually gonna be like an Amazon Prime exclusive.
Okay.
So Amazon's got fucking money. I mean they've put out some really good shows. We got The Boys, Man the High Tower.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Carnival Row was actually really good. Like random fucking show, but really good. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, they're actually gonna do a Fallout TV show.
I'm game.
So I mean, I'm down for it. I mean, especially Fallout 3 and 4. Those are like their best selling ones.
Yeah.
We don't really talk about Fallout 76, but but yeah, 3 and 4, they're really really good. Especially like people love what was it, New Vegas?
Yeah.
People love New Vegas, and it's just like super interesting to see like the post-apocalyptic world in different areas. Like you had 3, which was like I think in Boston. And then 4,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm sorry. 3 wasn't, I think, DC. 4 was in Boston.
Okay.
So I think that's how that worked. And yeah. And I mean, dude, it's cool to see how the world will change after a nuclear war like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I guess they're gonna, instead of following like any certain like storylines or whatever, they're actually going to like just kind of do like collections of stories. So they're gonna follow like random people they're trying to survive the wasteland.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, you'll probably get like the vault dwellers, and you'll get like the ghouls and shit like that, and all the people that got left all fucked up and burnt and shit, and the robots. So it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, because I actually haven't really played the games actually at all. I think you did for a little bit.
Yeah, I played 4.
Yeah, Be Supreme also too, and I know that you guys would actually tell me about it. But yes, it's pretty much just like a whole nuke town.
Oh
I
yeah,
guess you
dude,
would call it, right?
it's badass.
So that's pretty cool. Like how they're gonna execute on talking about everybody's just like a story, how it's impacted their lives and how they're surviving.
Yeah, yeah, and the best thing is if you want to do like New Vegas style, you just go out to the middle of the desert with a bunch of crap, and you can build a set like out for like pennies, and boom, there you go. If you want to shoot something more like in the city, you just go to Detroit. You don't even have to fucking put anything up.
Yeah, yeah.
Just kind of fucking have people walk up and down the street, and it's not gonna look any different.
Toy.
But yeah, dude. So it's gonna be for Amazon. They're gonna have like I said, it's gonna be like collections of stories, like talking of different people, and so they haven't given any like story clues as to what's going on. But all they said is like there's gonna have moments of ironic humor, and B-movie nuclear fantasies. So obviously things like you got like think of like the old 1950s movies like Them, where it was like the giant ants and shit. And,
Yeah.
Day There Stood Still, the day the when worlds collide and things like that. So it's gonna be a bunch of like really like weird B movie stuff, but it's also gonna be like really cool shit too. Like when you have like what were they called? Fuck, the name escapes me right now, but they're like these big ass monsters that roam like the fucking wasteland, dude. Mm-hmm. And like they just fucking wreck everything, and like you literally have to have like a little baby nuke to defeat them.
What the fuck?
Yeah, to really stand a chance, and you have to have like the power armor and shit. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm actually excited to see like what they do with the power armor and stuff like that, because people, just like anything, like any RPG, you can kind of like mix and match armor and shit. So people can mix and match like different like colors and shit for the armor. They have one that like the equivalent of Coke would be Nuka-Cola. So they're very similar with red with the white writing, and like so they have like the power armor like that. So it's all red with the white writing, Nuka-Cola, shit like that.
Yeah, because the only video game TV show that I still haven't seen, I still heard that it's really good, is the guy from Superman that did like The Witcher.
Oh, dude, that's really good.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, see, so like now, if you base it off of something like that, which is really off of based on a video game, I'm sure people that probably seen it didn't realize that it was off of like a video game.
Yeah.
Then how can Fallout be any hopefully they could execute it good like that.
So the thing with The Witcher was it was originally a book series, and the guy kind of based it off of like I think it was Polish like stories and shit.
Okay.
And then it became a video game, and then now it's a TV show. But I mean,
see.
still, it doesn't exactly follow like I think like the game storylines, but it's more like the books.
Gotcha.
But it's still really really good. It's
Cool,
still
cool.
definitely a watch.
I definitely gotta check it out.
Definitely a watch. But yeah, dude, I mean, we're getting a Fallout TV show. I mean,
That's pretty tight.
I think the last video game TV show I was kind of excited for was Mortal Kombat.
Get over
When
here!
that was around in the 90s.
Yeah.
That was a horrible show, but hey, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, so we're gonna get Fallout TV show. So that's something to look forward to.
Tight.
And then the biggest bit of news, which we've had some people say yes, it's happening. We had some people say no, it's happening. So some background story here. Obviously, the Star Wars sequel trilogy wasn't like the most well received movies. It's been very decisive, very divisive. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's kind of like there's no real in between. I myself, I think I do fall in between. I can appreciate the movies for what they are, but it's just like, yeah, that's. I mean, they're not my favorite Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
I rank them, original, prequel trilogy is really good, and then a sequel trilogy with Rogue One and Solo in between that stuff.
Yep,
Mixed in there. So I mean, it's a very touchy subject depending on who you're talking with. Like I said, people love it, people hate it. So, if you were following the TV shows like Rebels, Clone Wars, all that stuff,
Yep.
those were actually really well done shows. So in Rebels, they actually introduced this kind of like this idea called I think it was called like the World Between Worlds. So it's really cool. It's really 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 cool. So It's kind of like how they explained how like Ahsoka Tano survived. So spoiler alert.
Ooh.
In one of the episodes, Darth Vader actually finds her again. So obviously Rebels takes place after Clone Wars. So Clone Wars just ended the way it ended, and so between the beginning of I guess technically the beginning of episode 3 until that episode in Rebels, he hadn't seen Ahsoka Tano, and so she hadn't seen what he became. So they have this huge badass lightsaber battle, and at the last second, like the doors close between them, and so they're like, oh shit, like they don't know what happened to Ahsoka, and so and so later on in the series, like maybe like the last season, Ezra Bridger, who's like the main character, who's like the Jedi Padawan, he kind of falls into like this weird like world between worlds, so where everything was like very black and white, like stars everywhere, and there was a bunch of like doorways, and every time you look into a doorway was like a different part of the timeline. So you can see when like one of the when Caleb, like his Jedi master, when he died, he was able to see that part, and then he was able to see like when he first met all the characters from Rebels and things like that.
Damn. Okay.
And so there's a part where he actually sees Ahsoka Tano and Darth Vader fighting, and it looks like Darth Vader is about to kill Ahsoka, and he actually reaches through the door and pulls her through. And so they have this whole conversation of like, wow, you're like in a sense fucking with the time continuum. It's kind of like Back to the Future, like where you can't look at yourself in the past because then you fuck everything up. So it's like kind of like that subject of like, well, you're kind of fucking with the flow of time and shit, and because you did this, now you've changed something, and then in the end, she ends up going back through.
Oh wow.
And so everything changed. So possibility in that timeline, originally she died, and now because he reached through and pulled her through, like now she's alive.
What the fuck?
It's crazy, dude.
It's fucking crazy.
It's crazy, and it's like it kind of, you gotta wrap your hand around it a little bit, because then it's like there's another part where, like I said, he sees his master dying, and he died because he sacrificed himself to like hold like this explosion back so the ship can get away. And they're like, well, if you reach through the doorway to pull him through, you're pulling him through to safety. But in that sense, you're sacrificing the ship to ruin that timeline, and that can kind of fuck up everything in the present. So then the ship is getting fucked up, getting destroyed, and so now it would be them two. The ship is gone.
So it's like a ripple effect. It's like if you affect something like in the future, it's gonna affect something I mean, if you affect something in the past, it's gonna affect in the future.
Exactly. So they have this concept of that, right? So they're saying. So, like I said, with the backstory, with the whole division of the movies, in a sense, there's kind of this civil war going on within Lucasfilm between Kathleen Kennedy and her side, and like Dave Filoni and his side. You know, and you know, they're kind of clashing. And Kathleen Kennedy wants to bring her vision, but Dave Filoni wants to bring his vision, and so that's kind of where they're at this stalemate, because you know Kathleen Kennedy's got the movie side of things, Dave Filoni's got the TV shows. But Dave Filoni also has George Lucas in his corner.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, they're kind of pushing for that. And so one thing was, obviously, we've seen this with the end of Game of Thrones. We've seen this with a bunch of movies. When the fans aren't happy, they petition to like, oh, redo it.
Well, that's kind of crazy, like how they petitioned to do Sonic.
Yeah.
Right? And then fucking, I didn't think that they were going to pull that off.
Well, see, the funny thing with Sonic was it was just a character model you can fix.
But still, even with people petitioning, saying, hey, we wanted to get something fixed.
Yeah.
Modeling the story and this.
Well, so now you're comparing like apples and oranges. You're talking about like redoing a character model versus shooting a whole movie or whole series or whole trilogy or whole season. That's what people wanted. So what they're thinking is that Dave Filoni wants to actually use this concept of the world between worlds to actually go and erase what happened with the sequel trilogies. So in a sense, erase the sequel trilogies from the timeline.
Almost how Dragon Ball GT to Dragon Ball Super.
More or less,
right? Because
because
GT was right after Z, and then that's how it ends, right?
Yeah.
But and then when the writers and I think the creator, I mean, you know, like came back for Super, saying, "Hey, you know what? Don't just completely forget about GT. This is how it was supposed to be."
Yeah.
And at least from there, I completely understand. But now at least you could see what could have happened both ways, so you have both visions.
Yeah, so that's the cool thing. You do have both sides of the story, but it's a little easier with animation as opposed to real life.
That's true.
Obviously, Harrison Ford's done. He does not want to do Han Solo anymore.
Even Luke too.
Mark Hamill's done.
He's done too.
He's retired the thing of Luke.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't bring back Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
We can't bring back Peter Mayhew.
Yeah.
Can't do Kenny Baker. We lost all these great actors from Star Wars. So it's like to do and go and try to erase the whole trilogy. Like how do you make up for it? Like if you do go and do this Road Between Worlds thing, and you get rid of the sequel trilogy, you can keep Rogue One, you can keep Solo. That happened in between, prequel and original trilogy. But to erase this whole like sequel trilogy and get rid of it, like how do you go back and fix it? Like you can't really like, especially once with the actors are out of it, like they're like we're done. Like how do you go back and redo that? The only way I can really think about it is like animation.
Yeah, or either they'll just insert it almost like Mondo. It was just like it's almost like I'm still curious where Baby Yoda lands in the timeline.
Yeah.
Because how on episodes the last Star Wars movie, everybody's done. Everybody's gone. Everybody there's no so where does Baby Yoda fall in that timeline? Is he gonna show up? Is he just lost somewhere? Does he even become a Jedi? Or what I'm saying? Does he just become like So I think it's like one of those that even how we were talking about how timelining a cartoon like Beavis and Butthead or the Turtles, which I understand that how like if we would bring back a Harrison Ford and like Luke. Their age is just they're old. I mean, sure, CGI and stuff like that, but if their story is told in the same timeline but just not shown, I think they could do it.
Yeah.
It's like almost like Mondo. It's just like, okay, well, that's how the bounty hunters are just bounty hunters.
Yeah.
And then Boba Fett, Jango Fett, and that's like the roots of it.
Yeah.
But they don't explain to you until Mondo.
Yeah.
So I think Star Wars, man, you can do so much because I never read the books. I know you read the books.
Yeah.
And I feel like even with the books too, like they just go off topic and they mention Jedis and mention
which is the funny thing. So obviously before Disney bought out Lucasfilm, they had this huge backlog of books, dude. Like this whole history of Star Wars books, even all the way up to the point of books that take place like hundreds of years after, after the original trilogy. All those legendary heroes are gone and dead and gone.
Yeah.
So once Disney bought them out, they went and just went boop, all done. Those are legends now. And so there's stories that are technically like take place within Star Wars timeline, but it's like, those are just stories. Like we don't know if those really happened, this and that. As opposed to like now here's our actual canon and this is what it is. So what people are saying is they want to do this whole Road Between Worlds and they want to go back and redo it was a Thrawn trilogy, which is I think technically takes place right after Empire, maybe like within like 10 years I believe or something like that. And they have introduced the character of Thrawn in Rebels, but it's like how do you go back and redo this now that these actors are gone? Like they want nothing to do with it. You can recast and do maybe like younger versions.
Yeah.
But it's like at that point it's like you can't really get the guy that did young Han Solo to do middle-aged Han Solo.
I see what you mean.
So like your only there's two options you can do with this. You can do either animated.
Okay.
And you can actually go ahead with the idea of throwing out the sequel trilogy, do an animated trilogy, and you can do like the Thrawn trilogy, or you can do like this trilogy or that trilogy, and tell the story you want to tell that you think the fans are gonna like. Or what I think would actually be a good idea is you skip ahead about 100 years. Just skip ahead 100 years into the future Star Wars, and you tell this new story of like, okay, maybe people down the line, the lineage of the Skywalkers, or maybe no more Skywalkers are around. Technically they're not. The Skywalkers died out, and Rey took the name Skywalker, but she's not a real Skywalker.
Yeah.
But you have like you have these stories, dude. Like there was this comic series, I can't remember what it's called, and it's like 100 years in the future, and it's like Luke died, and his son was a Jedi Master, and then his son was killed, and then his grandson was like, I want nothing to do with the Jedi, and he went and fucking did whatever he did want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then Luke would appear to him as Force Spirit, and like, you got to become a Jedi, this and that. And that all that stuff happened. But like, that's kind of like your only options, dude. If you're gonna go and like delete the sequel trilogy, is like either go animated and do one of the original storylines, or stay live action but jump like way in the future, and then kind of like rewrite the past, where it's like, oh well, this and this and this and this is what we want to keep from the original Star Wars, and just pretend the other stuff didn't happen.
It's almost like, I feel like that just give me like a Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
Give me Darth Vader's apprentice, Starkiller.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me that story. Show us that story that is based off a video game to show people that don't play games into an actual live action or into a anime. Dude, I would love to see Starkiller fucking like what he's doing now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which I feel that's what they need to do now. They've told the story of Skywalkers, and pretty much the Skywalker story is Star Wars. I think now that it's technically done and over with, they need to move on and maybe just do a bunch of one-off movies of like different things that go on in the universe.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I mean, 'cause it's a big galaxy. There's more people than just the Skywalkers.
That's why I think that's why I love Mondo, because it's just like, it's just giving you a different perspective on where the galaxy is, and then like bounty here, bounty there, and then you have some old characters, some new ones too, showing the Darksaber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, showing that finally, and it's just like, just reading books about it, and reading all this like about that saber, and fucking just showing at the last episode. You're like, what the fuck, So yeah, dude, Star Wars could be such branched off that it doesn't have to be about Skywalkers, or just or about the Rebels. Give me fucking Empire. Give me some other shit to be like, dude, like let's team up with that.
I would kill for like a say Empire Ryan version of Star Wars of like Stormtroopers. That'd be badass, dude. Like that whole section of like the Solo movie where they're like on that fucking mud planet.
Yeah.
That like something like that, dude. Where they're just like in the trenches, game blown to shit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I mean that's kind of the options. Either erase the whole sequel trilogy, go animated, or go in the future, or just be like, fuck it, like keep it, but just we're done with the Skywalker story. Let's move on to something new.
Yep.
Let's tell new stories.
Yeah, buddy.
But anyway, we'll cut it there. So let us know what you think, guys. What do you think about all these new announcements? Should they get rid of the sequel trilogy so they keep it around and just do something new? What do you think about the Beavis and Butthead, about the Ninja Turtles? All that stuff. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know your theories. This is actually going to be our I guess we'll call it our movie theory episode.
Yeah.
So let us know your theories about TV shows and movies. As always, all our info is down in the description box.
Yeah, buddy.
You can find our Instagram pages. We have the show page, which is Empire of Nerd Pod, period in between. We have my page, which is the PokéTrooper, Poké_Trooper. Mm-hmm. Then you have Dr. Snake.
Los _sneakers, and pretty much any shoe fetishes. Bam, 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 baby.
There you go. So give us all a follow there. Give us a follow here. Like, subscribe. Mm-hmm. Give us a comment. Thumbs up.
Come on, baby.
Give us a thumbs down. Whatever. We actually got our first thumbs down.
Yes.
So
Fucking yes, dude. Let's just balance this bitch. But thumbs up and thumbs down.
So once you get haters, you made it.
That's it, baby.
So anyway, share the video.
Toast for the douchebags.
Get the word out.
And toast for the assholes.
So let us know, guys. Give us your thoughts. Again, send us some comments,
Please.
some private messages on Instagram. Got some shit you want to sell, fucking swing it our way.
Yes. Yes.
Guinness, if you want to sponsor us, we're open. Or maybe Modelo. So it's always Modelo time.
I am a alcoholic.
But anyways, as always, this has been the Empire of Nerd podcast. I'm the PokéTrooper.
Dr. Snake, as always.
Smell you later, nerds.